mean, call it weird or whatever, but as an avid collector of all things gaming, I do kind of care what the box art of a console I'm going to probably collect for will look like. Right, so I'm sure we're all aware and have already seen the new PlayStation 5 box art artwork, as it was only recently unveiled. And you know what? I think we were onto something with that video I did last week, because what was one of the things that I said? I said, oh, I bet they're gonna have that line. And they have that line. So now all of us collectors can be proud in saying that we can now line up all of our 5 generations of PlayStation games together into the same family worth of collections. This time they actually did an interesting thing to me, because of course a lot of people have been talking about how they dislike this white look that they've been going for. And at first glance it does look a bit amateurish, at least in my opinion. For as long as we've known about the PlayStation 5 being in existence, people have been doing their own custom PlayStation 5 box art. Here's one, there's some more, and there's another. Whoa, that's just the PlayStation 4 one, but with 5 instead. Once PlayStation officially unveiled the PlayStation 5 console the other month, a lot of people, including myself, did wonder if they were going to carry that white and black aesthetic over to the box arts themselves, because even though they haven't actually done that necessarily before with any of their consoles, the PlayStation 5 came out in this bright white look, which was a really bold and unexpected choice. So you kind of expected the box arts to kind of reflect that. It's interesting because in my video I actually discussed how the PlayStation 2 box art templates went for an inverted look to the PlayStation 1 game box arts. And they've kind of done that here as well, because on the PlayStation 4 games we did have blue and we had the white. You might not have noticed it unless you watched my video, of course, because I pointed it out quite a bit, but there was a white line there. You'll see it here, look, a white line. With the PlayStation 5 box art, they've actually played around with the same colour scheme and just basically inverted it, because now the white line is blue and the blue is white. It's kind of interesting to see, but it does kind of look like something you could probably mock up easily in Photoshop. One thing I also noticed about the new box art is that despite Marvel Spider-Man games now being a PlayStation exclusive, the box arts no longer seem to reflect that. When you compare it to the PlayStation 4 Spider-Man, you of course get the only on PlayStation logo, which it basically implies that, you know, this is a PlayStation exclusive. Sorry, Xbox fans. I don't know if it's like a finalized thing or whatever, but yeah, it's just an interesting omission, I think. Other than that, it's basically just the same as a PlayStation 4 case, which is an interesting thing because when have we ever really had a new PlayStation console come out with games that physically resemble a previous generation? Because like with the PS1 we got the small CD cases, then with the PS2 we got large DVD cases, albeit in blue. PlayStation 3 went with the Blu-ray obviously, albeit in grey instead of blue. And then with PS4 we kept the standard Blu-ray sized case, but they filled in the top with some more artwork, and it was a blue case, which is notable because the PS5 has also gone for that blue case, which, as a lot of people have already pointed out, you would have imagined they'd go for a white or black case, but no, they went for blue, and it kind of looks a bit weird. I know it's to complement the blue line that they've implemented. Like I said before, it just kind of looks like a custom box art made by a fan, and like people have been pointing out, it just does look cleaner, as people have been pointing out. I never use the term clean. How boring. It looks really weird. IMO. Imagine the top banner black with a white logo. It would have looked so much better. Clean! Yeah, I don't know, it's interesting, because like I did say in my PlayStation History of Box Arts video, I wasn't actually a fan of the PlayStation 4 box arts originally. They looked cheap and amateurish to me. I don't know, the blue choice was a bit weird originally, but then they grew on me, and now I love them. I want to get more PlayStation 4 games just because they look so nice as a collection, all uniform together. And maybe it'll be the same with the PS5 games? It doesn't really stand out that bad to me compared to how the PS4s originally did, other than the blue case. It just does look a bit weird. Yeah, somebody did a mock-up of what Tomb Raider might look like on the PS5 if they release a definitive remaster for it. Which they probably will do, to be fair. They'll probably do it with all sorts of games. It's also a bit controversial, at least for me, because I'm not really a fan of white cases. And this doesn't just go for games either, it's anything that comes with just a pure white spine. It just stands out too much in a collection or on a shelf, and it looks cheap. I don't know, I guess it worked for PS2 in the end, at least for us PAL people. I don't know if the PEGI ones will differ in any way, because of course this is the ESRB, American, Canadian, or whatever it is. We'll of course probably just get the same thing, apart from the customized logo on the spine, because for some reason Sony just likes to get rid of that over here in the PAL regions. But yeah, it's kind of funny because if you take a PS4 box art and then just kind of like Photoshop it a little bit, you basically get the same result. So it does come across as a bit lazy. I don't know. I was worried that they'd go for something completely different, like a cardboard box, like a cardboard CD box or something, and that it wouldn't necessarily fit amongst the other collections. So I'm okay with it. It just feels like we've kind of like hit a point in PlayStation with the box arts where it's like, oh okay, they're just gonna be this forever now, you know? Whereas we were kind of used to them all having their own little individual identities. But who knows, you know, like infamously PlayStation have been known to change things before they officially come out, like with the original PlayStation 3 controller, or even with PlayStation 3's box art. So maybe that'll happen. I kind of hope not though, because the PS3 collections are kind of annoying to bunch together because they don't all match. If they're going to bring this out, I kind of hope they stick with this. Stick to your guts, Sony. Yeah, that's a word of advice from Meerkat Chris. Not that I can really talk, because I don't really stick to anything. But yeah, if you're going to go with this, go with it. And it'll probably look really nice in the end. Who knows, eh? Hey. But yeah, I thought I'd just give my thoughts on the new box art, I guess. Because I did just recently do a video about PlayStation box arts over the years, and I didn't really get to talk about PS5 because they weren't revealed at that point. But now they are. Like my desk. It's just a bunch of cardboard. Not the most secure desk. I kind of feel like a school teacher at the front of the class being like, how do you work YouTube?